Righto, after a little hiatus, we're back with Pádraig Brannoch's book about MacDara, the young fella that is very much like Pádraig Brannoch himself, maybe growing up in Ireland in the 50s and 40s. So we're mid sentence on page 11. Ma bhrá nar was good that, not meat, cas Seamus Martin and Michiel Jim back them. He's talking about the cows that he's hooing down the road. Eid them. Nur a Cassider when they met on them on the cows. Orhu, if they met on the cows. Ma Cassider. So cas is meat or turn with or meat. Adar is like sheed. So them they met. If they met. Ma Cassider. Beidir gur Cassidir agus gur ligadidir roéisce. If they were maybe to have met on these cows, Seamus Martin agus Michiel Jim, that they would have been too lenient to let them go to roéisce, too lenient. He's worried that the cows will get away if they meet on them instead of him. So bin and kinale. So bin was in him on kinal the kind him. Seamus Martin, Gediven. That's how he was Gediven, or Godian in Kerry. Indeed, Ewan Gorochshe, nothing, very little bit. He would put a Gorochshe, he, an Umrka Dua, the too much worry or docher or dua on himself. Like, if he did meet up on the cows, he would probably just let them go too easily. That's the kind of kinal person that Seamus was. He's sort of a devil may care attitude. Yún a gorochse and umrakadua. He wouldn't put too much umrakadua. So chashe isteach and bochrino. Yes. So turned MacDara she isteach in the little bowreen southwardly. Oh yes, Ver his mother Avahar would be Ver Savaya in the house. Kinte certainly Vishe a kappa. He was thinking a kappa. Kahi Garosha. He must that he was Gama well in a shacht. So it must be that he was well in after 7. So it must be that he was well after 7. He's thinking about returning home and what the story is. The bus where his brother was going, I mean. Was a shacht a vishe le tacht. A vishi le tacht. Well, he's talking about the bus that his mother, having dropped his brother, Donal, would be on the 7 o'clock bus a shacht. His mother, she, was to be coming. Le tacht, le yacht. Le tacht. Ker de ver canhe eke. What ker de ver would be canly or canhe eke? What would be bought canly eke? Vishe ra, he was saying to say, Vishe to say lesh han, with himself, lesh han. Garo ege, that was at him, Jeffer a yanov, a hurry up or jiffy to yanov, to make a yanov. Ver git the malache. There was a great whole number of scurrying, lots of Gitamalach Ibra to do. He'd be very busy with all the little things he had to do. Erbuile is like mad. Erbuile, pok erbuile. His would be his father. Vi was his father. Erbuile Gominik. He was often quite mad. Gominik. Often, Jan do sha, Jan should do that, do sha this, do that, should. Fooder is forshach, fooder forshach or forsche, and Jeffer. Where's that word? Jeffer, fooder, forsche is, and kruog is all that busy stuff. Igoni fui. So there was always fooder and forsche. Always a goni fui under him. So he always had hurriness under him, fui. And Jeffer, make haste, Jane Jeffer, make jiffy, a walye on skill. The word jiffy comes from Jeffer, from homeward on skill, from the school. Cruogi goni aher, busyness and great responsibilities, igoni, always on his father aher. Ní raibh lá ar bith soch fada dó. Soch fada is long enough or sufficiently long. Fada long dó for him, the father. So there was ní raibh, there was not ní raibh lá day at all soch fada for him. There wasn't a day at all that was sufficiently long for him. Pe méid a rinneise. So whatever méid, whatever amount a rinneise he made or did, vi tille more, there was great moreness, tille le dienav, to be done, le dienav. Baird, a ver le dienav. So whatever would be with him to be done, Tronona, this evening, it would be be'erd, a ver. It would be, there would be, ver be'erd, there would be, a ver, would be to be done, le dienav, Tronona, in the evening, tra, the after the noon, so it's like the evening really. The cows, naba, or alec banya, the cows, the bow is one, naba is many, a blanc, so blanc the bow, so to milk the cows. So there would be that to be done. It would be, it would be, his father would do that, which is to blonde the bow. Ach, shin, he would be doing that. Ach, but major, gomer kunev would be help waye from him. So if there would be maybe, major would be mer, gomer, help from him, from the father. So needing, so this is how you say, like, there, if something is from the father or away from the father, it's needed. So waye, from him. So if there would be gomer, help kuna, from him, if vi kanna erbe aku, so if there was any one of them erbe at all, at them, of the cows, aku, at them, ro korak, too sturdy, all stirred up, ro, too much so, korak, in that type of fits and foots, ma vi shine tineke, if was sickly at her, at one of the cows. I guess if there was one of them was sick. Beider gonirthi, Beider again, maybe, that one would try, gonirthi, one would, this is the one part, so air, on him, bre erbal bo, to catch bre, on the erbal, the tail of the bow, of the cow, lena kinal, so that to keep, lena kinal, sucker. Sucker is, sucker is like muin in arire, like arigid, but and sure tashe mar sucker is mar sokrahe, like mavi sokrahe, like the calm. Vech, so if he held it, the air ball of the bow, the tail of the cow, he'd keep her calm. Vech a shere, so there would be her meal to give to the leana, the calves, the leana, agus to the mucka, to the pigs, and to the karka, which is the hens or the chickens. Vech na karka, so it would be the chickens, na karka, vech would be to be close of purin. That would be to be close. So you'd have to do that. You'd have to put them in the purin. And vech na yakon le dona, and it would be the ducks to also to be closed, to be penned. Na geva as well, and then the geese. So you'd have to take care of the karka, the hens, the lakon, the ducks, and the geva. So ver mon le toort de jaar, and there would be ver mon turf le toort to be brought ishtak in ver aimed. There would be wood aimed There would be fati, ver fati or prati, which is potatoes, and ver there would be anbanya. The ba is like cows, ba, and banya is milk, and there would be milk to be brought, le tourt. Ba'i, it was her, Mared, Ba'i, it was her, Mared, Ahurach, who would bring Anbanya, who would get, or who would bring the milk. Murra, Nirfi, if not, would not one try Yina Ella Agole to go with her? If not, one would try on another person to go with her. So it would be Mairead that would get the milk if it was not another person to go with her. Tronona Marsha Beidir Gonirfi. Tomorrow evening, Marsha, evening like this, maybe Beidir, one would try to get the milk. Vech na ba le koramachrish. There would be the cows na ba would be le kor to be put out amach arish again. Vech a here, it would be his meal le tourt to be given don kapel. So there would be the meal to give to the kapel. He says it would be his shera, his food, here, the kapel's here, to be given to the kapel. No better, or maybe nach durfi, one would not give nothing to him. Ach a kuramak safark. Maybe there would be no food shera, nothing tada to him to the couple, but to put a kur, a mak, out in the fark in the field. An glustan the hanigishak. So we're changing the subject, new paragraph, new mir. An glustan is the car. A hanig came into the side, took a hog up on Bochrin, up the little road, fad at length. Ba'egen, there was need. Ba'egen, ma'egen, there was need, do, to MacDara, do. Shasiv, stand, lativ, waihe, on the sideline from it, from the Glushtan. So as this thing came up the Borin, the Glushtan, there was need, Egen, on MacDara to stand on the lativ from the car, waihe. We saw waihe with the father earlier. So it's the same from him, from it. But Glushtan, it was the car on Glushtan, on Canoni of the Canonach, or of the canon, who's like a rector or a priest. It was the car of the Canoni. So this is the genitive of the anam okul, or the noun, in the tishul ginedach of the noun canon. So of the canon, an Canoni So it was it, the Glushtan, the car of the Canoni, of the canon. Nir achnishe he did not recognize him until no was, until was he bulte'er, until he was just about hit by it, right? So it was that close of a, until he had come up to meet him, Egbula, until he had met upon him in the Bochrin. So da nach yoch chance, one would recognize desh, chance, gomer she imi, that he would be gone, evolach waihe, that he would be gone, evolach waihe, from him. Be, it was on Canonach, the canon, himself, avi himant, who was being driven. It was the, which is really avi egtimant, which is driving, I think is what he meant. Nero on Canonach, it was not the canon, agus his ahermor, and his grandfather together, lefada. It wasn't for a long time, lefada, together was the canon and his grandfather, or I think it's his great father, Shanaher, agus ahar mór, níl me kinte faoin an ríshan. The áchas MacDara, there was joy, áchas, on MacDara, the buchel in this story, Gurvani, that blessed or greeted the canonach, the canon, him, do, to MacDara. So he was blessed by the canon. He was áthas about it. Vanni sé hain, so he blessed himself. Vanli sé, he blessed Vanli, self, hain, gomor, very greatly, gomor, is gemunte. Very moons is like learned or mannerly, gemunte, besach, don canonach, to the canon. So he blessed himself in that manner. He was eg fifri, eg inquiring, he was vishe of himself, de hen, achni and canonach did recognize, achni did recognize, achni an canonach, him, MacDara, certainly, like in reality, like with specificity, kinte, like properly. On ro buil bit on, was there any danger at all in it on? Goma imrul ahne, that there was a mistake, imrul ahne, of recognition, mistaken identity, eg an ganonach, at the canonach, this is the dative, a, of him. Did he mistakenly, imral ahne, recognize him, MacDara, the canon? Was it a mistake that he blessed him? Kibe ka, whatever was where an canonach agol, wherever, kibe ka, where, kibe ka, wherever was, row was, an canonach, to go, egdol, where was he going? Ba arid an mochrin sha, he was well arid, recognized, er on the borin, this borin sha, him, the canonach. Cahi goma mach ig faulerach. It must be cahi goma mach. Cahach iber, nicht wahr? Cahach goma mach ig faulerach an sleeve. He was out hunting birds on the sleeve, or coming from it, as from the faulerach, a visha he was. No egdenev, or making akira is again. So akira is like a shortcut. So a shortcut through the fields instead of going around the long road, you go straight akira again to some place. He was making an akira, a shortcut to some place. Some is again or akint. It's akint. Nor a vauri MacDara, when MacDara thought or wondered or remembered the Nahorkar, a Cholashe River, he heard bullets flying through the air. Heard, past tense, a Cholashe, he heard She, River Shah, before this, River, before Shah, this Vishe, Egden of Gedjerfa, he was doing well, perfectly that, Gama Amui Egfaulerach, he figured out putting one and two together, that in fact your man the canonach was out fauleiracht rive before this, because he had cholashe nahorker, the bullets, and so that he was probably amui gama amui, was outside ig fauleiracht hunting birds, a v, or was on canonach. So Shin an Lahanoch, we read that, and there's some more great writing by Pádraig Branoch, is intoch a beg fólum and gramadach as din le kaintur duchis is an cuile déanamh agus goharathe ag léh an rins ho dúle mar seo cho ná dúrcha mar atá an sloch seo is intoch ar fad. So that's the stuff now tonight, and I'll will go on to page 12 tomorrow. That was page 11.